Hi, I'm George Sakalius, and this is my sprint 4 overview. So, I added the poison state. I've also added scoring. Um, I started on spiders. I still need to put in most of their functionality. I also have to set them up to a state machine. Um, I've updated the state machine on the centipede based off of some of the techniques on the demo. Um, and yeah. So, oh, it's also worth mentioning that all of my all of the critters recycle their objects. They're also singletons, and yeah, that's just a small caveat. Um, so going into the code, this is no this is my score controller. So it's a singleton because multiple classes need to reference it, and as of right now, only one instance of this class needs to exist at a time. If we implement two players, that might change. I might have to swap out the singleton structure altogether, but I'll have to see. Um, so how it works is, let's just have an example. When an enemy is hit by a bullet, the bullet will call this method, and this method will in turn call the corresponding method to update the score. So this will call add flee. It'll go in here, call add flee, call the private method for it, and then all that does is it adds uh, the points from the flee to the total score. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm also storing all of the point values inside of the score controller instead of inside the enemy classes. I just figured it would be a lot more organized and easier to deal with like this. Um, so yeah. So that covers score controller. Um, okay. So as I mentioned, I made some changes to my state machine in according to the demo. Um, so on the surface, everything is pretty much the same. In my update, my well, the centipede pieces still call the move method of their current state. Um, I still need to move all the collision checking stuff into the respective update methods. So I have to move all of this into here, and similarly, I have to move all of this into here. Um, so yeah. Um, so centipede behavior is the base class of all the states. All it does is it declares the virtual methods for the states. Yeah, that's all it does. All of the centipede pieces have a pointer to this class. Uh, so okay, so I I borrowed this idea, the idea of creating static references to each of the states from the demo, um, because yeah, I'm only gonna ever need one instance of each state at a time. Um, so yeah, horizontal state. So this is my horizontal state. Not a whole lot has changed. I added a couple more functions just to make things a little easier. This is where I update my state for the head, for the centipede head. All this is my collision script from before. Um, so if it collides with a border, it'll send it to the turn state. If it collides with a mushroom, if it's poison, it'll send it to the vertical state, which is my poison state, or it'll send it to the turn state, or it'll just stay in the horizontal state. So yeah. So now looking in my vertical state, my poison state, um, So my vertical state is pretty much identical to my turn state. Same movement, same movement. The only thing that's really different is that when I change states, I only change states when I enter the player area. And it's worth noting that I'm not setting my state to the turn state. I'm not setting my state to the horizontal state. I'm setting it to the turn state. The reason why I'm doing this is because when I would set it to the horizontal state, it would I'd run into some errors with my direction variables. However, if I set it to the turn state, then it seems to correct those errors before they happen. I have a couple ideas regarding what might be causing this, and I'm going to go back and make some changes so I don't have to rely on this quick fix. And yeah, that's all the important stuff. All right, yeah.